All right, hi there guys. You probably saw the thumbnail, but today we're going to be talking about the books I read in January. So starting out, it's One I Don't Own, Same Time Next Year by Annabel Monaghan. This is not a very memorable book. I read it at the beginning of the year. It's about, I believe the main character is Sam, and she is engaged, but she always has her first love in the back of her mind. And she's kind of stuck on it, and she doesn't like to go visit her parents because of that. And so it's the beginning of the summer. I believe it's the beginning of the summer. Maybe it's not. Maybe they're going and visiting at a different time. But her and her fiance are gonna go back home, visit her parents, and she runs into him. Stirs up some kind of emotions in her, and it's kind of a story of like, who's she gonna be with? Her fiance, the old guy. Does he even want her? Originally gave it 4 stars and went back and I was like, I don't remember it. Moving it down to 3. It was very good. Really like her writing. Read another book by her. What was it? But I really liked the other one I read. Nora. Yeah. Next I read The Naturals. Oh my gosh, so good. It's about a girl who's 17 and she's recruited to work for the FBI because she's a really good profiler, and I was loving it. It was great. Had a great time. It's a good one. Next, I made note cards. Yay me. The Inheritance Games, also by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Also, don't know if I mentioned it, rated The Naturals 5 stars. Such a good beginning to a series. Definitely made me want to read more of it. Obviously I did. But next I read The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I listened to this as an audiobook with my boyfriend. Wasn't that into it. Kept forgetting who characters were. Not a good sign that you're into it. Wasn't it for me. Basically this girl who is in high school is contacted, this guy dies, billionaire, and she gets the house as long as she lives there for a year, and there's all these twists and turns, and I wasn't into it. It wasn't my thing. I feel like it should have been my thing, especially since I love her other books so much. Like, I actually started The Inheritance Games before I started The Naturals, and I was surprised that I liked The Naturals so much more. Rated that 2 stars. Next I read The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. I read the first one, going blank on the name. This was an interconnecting book where it takes a character from the first book and it has her and her love story. So Fizzy, she's in a book rut. She's an author. She doesn't know if she really believes in love, and she's having a hard time writing books. And so she gets put on as the main character in a TV reality show where she dates 8 guys, and yeah, it was good. It felt very lusty, like the guy she only likes because of, she just keeps talking about how hot he is, and the first like 80% I was like, oh, you only like him for his body, and the last 20% he was actually pretty good, and you like actually like okay, I can actually see them being together now. But yeah, I just don't know if they would be together in real life, you know, like one night stand for sure, possibly. But it was good. 3 stars, maybe 3.5. It was the last at least 20%. I want to say it was even longer, like 40%, but for a long time I was just kind of trying to get through it because I read the first one and I loved it so much. Soulmate Experiment, that's what it is. But yeah, it was good. I would read another if it came out, but I would recommend it more than I wouldn't. The next one, The Grace Year by Kim Liggett, I believe it's pronounced. So good. Oh my gosh. So weird. But it's like the weird I kind of love, you know? Oh, so good. But basically girls are sent into the woods for their 16th year. Like, as soon as you turn 16, everyone who turns 16 goes on the grace year. And basically, it's for women to get rid of their magic, because guys apparently go crazy for girls and they need to get rid of their magic, so they can't get guys to do stuff. And it's a really good way to get out of your marriage. If you say that your wife has her magic, then she can get killed for using her magic. But so this girl goes to her grace year. I will admit, I think it was like the first 20 or 25% of this that was really slow. It was really just like them in the town before they go on their grace year and talking about different people, and that was a little boring. But then they go, the girls go crazy. You're trying to figure out why they're going crazy. I was hooked. It was so good. I rated 5 stars. It's messed up. It's messed up what these girls go through. And if you don't like you should definitely look into the trigger warnings. Feels so weird to say that in a video, but definitely look into it. There's a lot that goes on. But yeah, I was sucked in. I want to know what's gonna happen next so bad the whole time. Next we have Killer Instinct, Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This one I didn't like as much. Okay, so one of the people in the group there's someone who is copycatting a serial killer, and they're basically trying to figure out who the copycat is. Does it say copycat? Yeah, it says copycat. Okay, yeah. So they are copycat for a past serial killer. So they are going in trying to figure out who this is. They have a really hard time figuring it out. And I gave this one 3 stars. As you can tell, even by the way I'm describing it, like I wasn't that into it. It gives a lot of detail about the characters and where they come from. There's a group of like 4 teens that it basically focuses on, and it's about one of them and their background. But yeah, the next one in the series, Allin, Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So good. 5 stars. Oh, I thought it said on the cover. It doesn't say it on the cover. But there are 3 deaths at 3 different casinos in Vegas. And they send in the teens to help figure out what's going on, help find the killer. So good. Lines it up really well for the next book and the cold case. It's not a cold case, an active case that they're going over. But definitely recommend this book. Such a good one. I feel like everyone that I've watched who's read these books also have a little bit of a different opinion on which one's the best and the worst, so maybe you'll love the second one. Wasn't for me, but hey, that's why reading's great. We all like different books. Next one, The Unmaking of June Pharaoh by Adrienne Young. This is probably my favorite book of the month. Which is not book of the month. It's literally, I got it from book of the month a couple months ago. But I had been putting it off. It's a really pretty cover. Didn't think I'd like it. First 20%, wanted to fall asleep. Boring. It's really just giving way to the story. Again, I feel like that happens a lot where like the first 20-25% is not that great. But then it speeds up. You get into the story. But this one is about June Pharaoh, and all the women in her family kind of start going crazy at some point, and it's known in the town. Everyone's kind of watching her, like waiting for her to go insane. And she starts seeing things. She sees a doctor about it. She's journaling about it. You figure out what's going on in this family, and they're not weird. They just have a special thing that goes on. So good. So good. I forget who it's by, but Dark Matter. I kind of feel like it is a little similar to that one. It has the same feeling to me, at least. Maybe not to you. But it kind of reminded me of that one, which I also really like that one. 5 stars. I kind of say. Next up, we have, it's backwards for me, Hello Stranger by Katherine Center. Okay, let me just say, Katherine Center, beautiful. Beautiful writer, author, whatever. So good. This is the third book I've read by her. And she writes books that are so uplifting, and they're so good. I don't know, like, it's kind of about someone, all of the ones I read by her are about someone who's going through a hard time and kind of overcoming that. And this definitely follows the same thing. This girl, she paints portraits, and one day they find a tumor in her brain. She has to get surgery on it, and she gets face blindness after. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. It's a love story, so there's gonna be love in it. But yeah, really good. She's really just trying to figure out how to get through this face blindness thing. She's really frustrated that she has it. She hates not being able to know who people are. 4 stars. Pretty good. Katherine Center. Will continue to read her books. Next I read The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. That's actually the second one in the series. The first one I was not that into, but I've heard that the second one was better. So I was like, let's give it a shot, see how it goes. It was definitely better. Definitely makes you want to read the third book too. Big twist at the end. I feel like I can't talk about it too much because it's the second book of a series. But it's good. 3 stars. Stephanie Garber's writing is just not for me. I read the whole Caraval series. It was not my favorite. Now I'm on the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. It's good. It's enjoyable. Not my favorite. But everyone seems to love this series, so maybe it's just me. And this is the last book I read. Okay, Never Never by Colleen Hoover. I'm a Colleen Hoover girly. Who isn't though? Oh, let's be honest. This is not it. This was not it. I started this in November. I think it was like November 3rd. And I put it down, was not into it. I was like, maybe I'll be into it in another month. And it was not great. I feel like there's this whole mystery going on. This guy, beginning, he wakes up. It's dual POV. So there's this couple, and at the same time, 11 p.m. Tuesday, while they're in class, they both forget everything. And they're basically trying to figure out what's going on. And I feel like we never even figure out what's going on. Like, you kind of do, but I didn't enjoy it. I gave it 1 star because I started it. It took me almost 3 months to read this book. And given I did put it down for a little bit, but just not it for me. I actually did finish Bad Blood, the 4th book in that, the Natural series today. Really good, but didn't finish it in January. So maybe I'll post again next month. We'll see how this goes. This is mostly to try to get myself out there, do something that makes me feel uncomfortable. And now I have to figure out how to edit this video. We'll see how that goes. But bye, everyone. Bye.